Howdy, howdy, howdy. We're talking division. And not just division, we're talking long division. It's everybody's favorite. You might be thinking, Lewis, you're out to lunch. It's not my favorite. It's actually the opposite. And you know what? If you don't like the long division, that's okay. It's not my job to tell you what to like and what not to like. However, it is my job to try to teach you well enough that not only you can do it, but maybe you can do it and have a little bit of fun doing it too. And yes, I'm a math teacher, so of course I'm biased, but I love long division. I think it's quite fun. So if we can understand what's actually happening with long division, the steps it requires will make a lot more sense, and you'll be able to do it like you're looking at the back of your hand. It's going to be easy. It's going to be just like breathing, okay? So firstly, let me show you an acronym that you're going to be very, very familiar with. D, M, S, and B. And it's an acronym. So that means each one of these letters stands for a word. Okay? So DMSB. D stands for divide. M stands for multiply. S stands for subtract. And B stands for bring down. All right, so I just wrote that out over here just so we can refer back to it later. Every single time we're going to do division, every single stinking time, at the very top of your page, yeah, you betcha, you're going to write D, M, S, B. Why? Well, that'll make sense in a second, all right? And I'm going to break down why we're doing this. DMSB is essentially the steps we're going to follow when we're doing long division, okay? So the very first step is to divide, okay? So I'm going to divide 729 by 9. And remember our division terms. The number that's being divided, dividend. The number that's doing the dividing, that's the divisor. And then my answer when I find it, that'll be my quotient, okay? So anyhow, my dividend, let's divide it by 9. So firstly, I'm going to look at each and every single digit. 9. Can 9 divide into 7? Well, no, it can't. It can't because 7 is smaller than 9. But can 9 divide into 72? Well, you know what? I'm actually not really sure because, that's kind of a hard number. I'm not very good at my 9 facts. So you know what I can do? I can bring in my old trusty multiplication chart. Who knew? Multiplication chart. It's our favorite tool in this class. And yeah, we can use a multiplication chart for division because remember, division is multiplication backwards. Okay? So anyhow, we're on the D step of DMSB. Okay? And we said that 9 can't divide into 7. And I can prove that actually. Look at my 9s, my very first 9. It's 9, right? It's too big. It just doesn't fit, okay? But now we're looking at 72, just the 7 and 2. Does 9 fit into 72? Well, let's have a look at my multiplication table. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72. Hey, look at that. 9 does fit into 72. It fits into it 8 times. Okay, so my divide step. Oops, everything erased, I guess. Oh well, DMSB. My divide step, 9 fit into 72 8 times is what my multiplication table told me. So I write my 8 on the very top, which, I'm building my quotient. Notice the 8 went over top of the 2, okay? And the reason I did that is because I was looking at 72, the 7 and 2 together, and when I do that divide step, whatever number I get needs to go over the furthest right digit, okay? Things will get messed up if I put the 8 over top of the 7. I definitely want to make sure I'm going over top of the furthest right digit that I used. Okay, anyway, that was the divide step. 9 fits into 72 8 times. All right, cool. Next step, multiply. So I'm going to go 9 times 8. Oh, shoot, I forgot what that is. What is 9 times 8? Well, multiplication chart. 9 times 8. Aha, 72. Okay. So 9 times 8 is 72. And I'm going to write that right below. Just like that. Boom. Multiply step done. Next step, subtraction. 72, take away 72. Yeah, you betcha, that's going to be 0. Okay. But I'm not yet done, because I've got another step. Bring down. So at this point, if your dividend has any other digits, you are going to draw an arrow, and you're going to bring that digit down. And now the whole process restarts. I go back to the divide step. So does 9 divide into 9? Well, yeah, of course it does. 9 divides into 9 once. Next step, multiply. 9 times 1 is 9. Next step, subtract. 9 take away 9 is 0. Next step, bring down. Oh, I've got nothing else to bring down. So at this point, if I've got nothing else to bring down, and after I subtracted, I've got a 0, I know I'm done. So I can say 9 divides into 729 81 times. Now, let's just pretend I'm not confident in my answer. I can work backwards. I can use multiplication to check. So let's go 81. Oh, geez. 81. Yikes. 81 times 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 8 is 72. Well, did it work? Yeah, it did work. Cool. So I use multiplication to check my work. Okay. Let's say I got a different answer here. Well, that would mean that my division is wrong, and I'd have to try again. And that's okay. Cool. Let's try another one. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. It's just kind of hard to write that small. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right. Okay. So my dividend on this one is 62. My divisor is 5. And yeah, I better write DMSB just to help myself, because that way I'll never forget or miss a step. Every stinking time I'm going to write this. So let's go through the steps. 5. Does 5 divide into 6? Does it? 5. Okay, well that's not bigger than 6. Ooh, 10 is, yeah. So 5 fits into 6 once. So 5 fits into 6, or divides into 6 once. Okay, next step. Multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. Next step. Subtract. 6 take away 5 is 1. Next step. Bring down. And then I go all the way back to the start. Divide step. How many times does 5 divide into 12? Well, let's see. 5, 10, 15. Okay, 15 is too big. Okay, that's too far. But 10 works. So 5 fits into 12 twice. Okay. So 5 fits into 12 twice. Next step. Multiply. 5 times 2. That's 10. Next step. Subtract. 12 take away 10 is 2. Next step. Bring down. There's nothing else to bring down. Well, uh-oh. Notice. This time, we didn't end up with 0. And that means I have remainders. So this means 5 fits into 62 12 times, but it's not perfect. We've got 2 little leftovers left over. And I'm going to put an R and a 2. Remainder 2. So I can say 5 fits into 62 12 times, but with a remainder of 2. And let's say you wanted to check this out with multiplication. I think that'd be awesome if you did. We'll work backwards. The tricky thing, though, is what to do with the remainder. Well, let me show you. Let's pretend the remainder's not there for now. So I'm going to go 5 times 62. Sorry, 5 times 12. 5 times 2 is 10, so I carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Okay, so 5 times 12 is 60. Here's what you do with that remainder. you just add it on. Boom. So I worked backwards with multiplication, checked my answer. Yep, it works. Very cool. Okay, so this is the process you guys are going to have for going through all of these questions. And it's all about DMSB. I think the trickiest thing with long division, guys, is there's a lot of steps. And when you have a lot of steps in your head, it's really easy to forget or miss one. So using DMSB, it keeps us on track so we don't miss those steps. The second thing that's really hard about long division is if you don't have strong multiplication facts, division's very hard. And that's why I encourage you to be using those multiplication tables you have taped on your desk. Use these tools. It's going to help you get through long division. And as you practice and use these, the multiplication charts, you'll find that you depend on them less and less and less as your multiplication facts get stronger. Okay? So if you're feeling confident, go ahead and pause or turn off the video, get to work. If you want to do one more with me, stick around. All right. So I'm going to make up a random one. I'm going to make this a 4-digit dividend. And I'm just going to pull numbers out of thin air. 2, 3, 7, 8. Yeah, why not? All right. So that's our dividend. Divisor is going to be 2. Okay, I'm going to have to zoom out here a little bit. Oh, don't like that. Let's scroll down. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, D, M, S, B. Divide first. 2 divides into 2 once. Multiplication step. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtraction step. 2 take away 2 is 0. Bring down step. So I'm going to draw an arrow, bring it all the way down, and I go back to divide step. 2 fits into 3 once. Multiply step. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract step. 3 take away 2 is 1. Bring down step. And now we're dealing with 17. 2 fits into 17, I'm not sure. Let's use the old multiplication chart. We'll count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'll stop when I get over 18. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, so that's too far. I'll go back one. So 2 can fit into 17 8 times. So 2 fits into 17, or divides into 17 8 times. Multiply step. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract step. 1, that'll be 0. Next step is bring down. And we go all the way back to the D, to the divide step. 2 divides into 18. Oh, let's be safe. Let's double check. 2, 4. Okay, I'm looking for 18. If I get too big, I'll have to go back. Ooh, 18. So 2 divides into 18 9 times. 2 divides into 18 9 times. Multiplication step. Notice I'm not timesing this whole thing. I'm just timesing 2 times 9. And that's 18. Next step is subtract. 18 take away 18 is 0. Next step is bring down. And there's nothing to bring down. And wouldn't you know it, I actually have no remainders either. So 2 divides into 2,378, 1,189 times. And again, I'm going to check my work just to be safe. So 1,189. Then I'll work backwards. I'll multiply that with 2. And if this equals 2,378, then I know my division was right. 2 times 9 is 18. Carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And 2 times 1 is 2. And look at that. We're correct. Checked it out. That's awesome. All right, guys. Last thing I'm going to say is this. Long division is hard. It is. It's tricky. There's a lot of steps, and it takes a little bit before those steps lock in. What you need to do during this process is treat yourself with compassion. Don't get discouraged because you don't get it instantly. Even if the guy sitting next to you, he gets it instantly, hey, good for him. That's awesome. Be happy for him. But if it's not you and it's taking you a little bit longer, that's okay. This doesn't happen in a blink of an eye for everybody. You might have to take a class. It might even take a couple classes before it starts to make sense. But I promise, you put the time in, you stay positive, and you keep working at it, this will make sense eventually. I promise, I promise, I promise. So good luck, stay positive, stay tough, and happy dividing. Bye for now.